Hello, welcome. Marlene here. For today's video, I'll be doing a little product demonstration. I was recently sent a box of products by Sweet Sugarbelle. These are made by American Crafts and they sent me several different samples, and I thought I'd demonstrate this one since I've seen a lot of interest on the Stencil Snap, and I thought it would be easiest to just decorate a cookie. So we'll be doing this shape from Sweet Sugarbelle's Halloween Cutter Kit. Now on to today's video. Today we're looking at the Stencil Snap. In the package you get this anti-stick kind of silicone mat with a ruler and then a little spatula to smear on your icing, and then the actual Stencil Snap. So separated by color, it's two shades, dark and light teal. I painted my nails to match. And we're just going to lay the stencil at the bottom, and just to make sure we get the right size for the stencil without too much fussing, then I know exactly what size or what holes I want to use, and there my stencil is going to fit. So now repeat that again. The magnet's on the top, and I'm just popping it in. They just kind of snap together, the sections. All right, now that it's all put together, I can just quickly rest my stencil on top, and then they just perfectly line up. And then I really like these little bits that stick out. Makes it so easy to pick up the stencil. And then you can kind of position exactly where you want to be. So let's do that again for a different size stencil. This is kind of the more standard of the stencil sizes. There we go. And I'm just going to repeat exactly the same thing with this one. Whoops, I got that wrong. There. So let's put the stencil on top, trap it in there, and again we can easily pick up the Stencil Snap and position it onto our surface. The thickness here, you see there's a difference. One is thicker and one is thinner, and depending on the thickness of your cookies, that'll give you a more snug fit. It'll be pressed right up against the cookie surface. If this is too low and causes it to be kind of lopsided, you just flip it over and use this side. Starting off with a quick outline and flood on the surface of this cookie, creating our background. This is going to have to dry before we can come in and airbrush. When you rest a stencil on wet icing, you just squish it and cause it to crack, and we don't want that. We want a nice finish. Here is my cookie, and I'm going to be placing a little piece of paper right there, and then I'm just going to lay my stencil on top, and with that little piece of paper I'm shielding the design. And now I'm just going to add a little wood grain to everything. And you see I protected that little area, and now I'm going to let this dry. Here I have the other piece of that little paper that I cut out, and I'm positioning that to get my ghost here. And I'll be able to just put my finger and hold it in place and stencil that. Alright, so let's hold that in place. And we're just dusting the ghost. Finishing off the cookie here, I'm just going to put my stencil right here at the top, adding a bit of green icing here, and then I'm just going to lift off the stencil, and now I can draw on my ghost's face. The white has had time to dry, so a smile. And some eyes, one bigger and one smaller. And then a red dot in the middle of that. I'll come in once this is dry and just dot a little nose on the skull. Here is the completed cookie once again. I made a little set with the ghost and the little casket. I thought it was cute together. The ghost is also from Sugarbelle's Halloween Cutter Kit. And now, full disclosure, they did send this to me for free, but I wouldn't even put it on my channel if I didn't like it. I have never really used anything like this, and what I really liked about it is the fact that it is very versatile with regards to the sizes of your stencils. I tend to pick them up at all kinds of different vendors, and sometimes even I make my own, so I really like that I could adjust the size to fit all my random stencils, and once it was assembled it was sturdy, it wasn't falling apart, so I did really like the product. I do like that little mat, but I didn't want to use it while I was airbrushing. I like to airbrush on Scott towel so that my cleanup is just that much easier. I didn't want to have to clean the mat. And that little scraper, I did use it to apply the skull to the cookie, and I did like the size and the thickness of the plastic. It made applying the royal icing quite easy. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you next time.